Hello, Bonnie.
Hey, Dawn.
You know what I love about us doing these consultant confident classes
What?
is that you and I learned this stuff a long time ago. And
Hmm.
like we might call it kitchen coaching because that's how we learned it. But it doesn't matter where you're doing this, the steps are still the same. And so I can't say enough to our consultants that once you take the time to learn this, practice it, and do it, it just becomes easier.
Yes. What I love about it is it reminds me of things that maybe I forgot to do
Yes.
and pick it up and go, oh my gosh, that worked. Why am I not doing that again? So, Dawn, it says Consultant Confident, week 14. So, this is our 14th out of 52 weeks of training that we are doing. And this week is on, it doesn't say it on the description, but it is on coaching. It's coaching our guests, coaching our hostess, coaching people. And I said to Dawn when we were talking about it, I said, it's inspecting what you expect. So if you're expecting to have many guests there, you need to inspect. If you're expecting people to whatever, you need to inspect. So inspect what you expect.
Well, and the other thing, Bonnie, about that is that you don't, let's say you're planning a party for even like people coming over.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, you want people to show up, you want to have everything in a row, and you want people to have a good time. So it's this it's the same for if you are having a hostess. Your hostess is excited about having a party with you. You're her business partner in this. She wants to get a lot of free stuff, or maybe it's to start her business, whatever it is. It's she wants to be successful. So you guys are business partners. So that's why we do coaching. Mhm.
And you really want her to have a great class
Yes.
because
Mhm.
she wants to have a great class. She might not voice it. She might say, "Oh my gosh, I want to have a great class," and she might be really tentative about it. But the truth is, she wants free stuff or she wouldn't be inviting you over.
Exactly. And the other thing is, okay, so Bonnie, let's say I book a party with you and we book it for next week. Let's say we book it for next Friday night. Okay.
Okay.
And I don't coach. I don't call you. I don't do anything. And I text you next Thursday night at 7:45 and I say, I'll see you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. You're gonna go, the hostess is gonna go, oh, I forgot all about it. No, it's not gonna work. Let's reschedule. And then as a consultant, you're gonna go,
Is that pouting?
well, you're gonna be sad, or
Absolutely.
you're gonna be sad because guess what? You were excited. You're excited about meeting people. And it's not about selling. It's about building your business, meeting people, bookings, classes, and your prospect business people. So that's what it is. So if you're going to take the time to book it, we're going to teach you how to coach it. And the odds are it's going to be more successful.
That is great.
Yes.
Well, and you know what? You want your hostess to feel confidence in you too. So when you are the leader of this show, you are the leader of the party. You are the consultant. As
Yes.
Phyllis's dad used to say, you have the book. You're in charge. And so I think Phyllis is who I learned tons from.
Yes.
So in case you are going, Phyllis's dad. But when Phyllis started, her dad said, don't be nervous. You have the book. You're in charge.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so you know what to do. You're in charge. All right,
So,
Dawn.
okay, Bonnie, do you want me to be the hostess and you be the consultant, or do you want me to be the consultant and you be I want to be the hostess. So,
Okay.
so
So
Bonnie, I
Dawn.
want to have a I want to have a party, Bonnie.
Oh my gosh, Dawn. I'm so excited. I would love to have you be a hostess. So
Yes.
Dawn, that makes you and I business partners. I'm going
Yes.
to help you get lots of free stuff. So the
Awesome.
first thing I want you to do is I want you to make a list of people, your family, friends, people you think would enjoy that you love to have over for a party. Okay. let your list be long, let it be wild, because you never know. People have other plans, they maybe can't come, so you want to have a nice long list. Usually if you invite about 10 people, 6 will be able to come,
Okay.
generally
Okay.
speaking. The
Okay.
other thing that I want you to do is I want to know what you would like free.
Okay.
Like, were you eyeing up things tonight? That's why you're a hostess, right? Because you were looking at stuff and going, oh my gosh, I
Yes.
want stuff free.
Yes.
So hostesses get great deals on products, free or at a discount. So I'm going to suggest looking through the lookbook
Okay.
and circling the things that you want. And then I want to check back with you about those things. So I want to get your guest list so
Okay.
I can find out what they want to learn.
Okay.
2, I want to find out what you want free so I can help you get it.
Mhm.
And I'm going to send you along with this packet. And in the packet, there is, and then I would just go through it with her, or I would tell her about it and then I'm going to drop it off or
Okay.
whatever, mail it to her. But there's a couple of lookbooks, and that way you can get some outside orders, which are going to count for sales. So maybe people that can't come to the party, you'll be able to ask them if they want anything. I'm going to give you uh, this Hostess brochure right here. And this is Fun and Free Beauty Party. And it tells the products that you can get free and how you can get them free.
Okay.
That's where you ooh and ah, ooh,
Ooh. Okay.
And I would say, so, and then I would use an example and I would just say, so for instance, if your party totals $400 and you have 2 bookings, you're going to get $80 in free products.
Good. Good.
Okay. Could you get excited about that?
Yes.
And then in there, I also have, if I have a hostess contest or a hostess flyer going on, my business card so she can contact me, and a piece of literature about Mary Kay. I love to use this fabulous one right here
Okay.
to put that in. So a couple of lookbooks, a hostess brochure, and a piece of recruiting information, and my business card.
Got it.
So I'm going to call you I'm going to call you in 2 days, like 48 hours to confirm. Oh no, you're going to tell her, Dawn, I'm going to give you a call in 48 hours to get your guest list of people that will be coming. And I also will, then I'd love to find out what you want free.
Okay.
How's that sound?
That's great.
Okay, great. So following up within 48 hours, should I keep going?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so following up within 48 hours, and you know what? I would set up a time for it. So in 48 hours, that would be, what day is today? Thursday. So that would be on Saturday. Is Saturday a good day to call you? Morning, afternoon?
Saturday morning.
Saturday
Yeah.
morning. Okay, great. I'll give you a call Saturday morning so she knows you made a connection there. It's not just like I'm going to call you in 48 hours. I'm going to call you then. You're going to call her. You're going to be excited. Say, Dawn, I'm so excited about our party next week. I wanted to get the guest list and their phone numbers.
Oh,
Do you have
Bonnie,
that ready?
Bonnie, I've had just the most unbelievable week. You know, I have family in Florida, and that hurricane, I've just been sitting by the TV. I haven't even had a chance to like, and I don't even
Ooh.
really know, Bonnie, who I would even start to invite to my party.
Oh, Dawn, I'm sorry to hear about your family in Florida. Um, that is devastating, and it's really hard to watch, isn't it?
Yes.
So I can definitely see where you've been preoccupied with other things. Dawn, would it be helpful if I gave you some thoughts about who you could invite?
Yeah. That would be wonderful, Bonnie.
Let's start with like your family.
Yes.
Do you have some family that maybe would want to come?
My sister. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
great. And then what about neighbor? So then sister, what's her name? What's her number? I'd get her name and number. So you're
Yep.
kind of helping her make the guest list if she doesn't have it ready.
You think I should invite the
Um,
girls to my book club?
oh, that'd be awesome. You can study the Mary Kay lookbook.
Yes. Yes.
What would be their names and numbers? And I would get those. What about neighbors or women that you work with? Remember, we kind of want your list to be long, so in case they can't.
Yes.
Now, Dawn, did you invite them already?
Well, I
Not
think I
really.
like mentioned I was having something, and
Okay.
they weren't kind of like they were just kind of like, yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna. How about if I just send you their contacts right now?
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. So I sent you like 7 contacts. Okay.
Okay. So taking a break here because I'm going to ask
Yes.
Dawn's opinion. Okay, Dawn, if somebody didn't invite their guests yet, but they're giving you a guest list, do you suggest that they send them a text and invite them, or do you just call and invite them? What would you do?
So what you could do in this case, because I do think this happens, is maybe send a text to both of them, and sometimes I'll like even like do a little pic collage. It used to be in the olden days we sent out invites for people, but in snail mail we don't have that. We never had. I mean, we grew up in the days where we had phone and we didn't have email and we didn't have texting. I would do a little pic collage or just a little saying, "Hey, Susie Q is doing a Mary Kay. This is what's going to happen." So maybe you even do an invite to the hostess and the person at the same time. So it's like an
That's,
invite. So,
that's a great idea. I was going to suggest
yes.
giving, if you're the consultant, giving her a little script or giving her, and if you don't have a pic collage, just, it always is great to add a picture to it, but just to help her with the script, like, hey, I'm getting together with my Mary Kay beauty consultant on Friday at 6 p.m. and would love to have you as my guest. And then
Yeah.
they'll hear back. So it doesn't have to be anything super formal, but really just
No.
to help her. Dawn is my hostess, and Dawn's had a crazy week and is concerned and has a lot going on in her mind. So I'm going to help her get the guest list together. And then after I get that, then I'm going to say, Dawn, did you get a chance to think about what you might want to get free?
Well,
Re-excite her.
I want, I want
Be,
retinol. I want my retinol.
oh, that's great. Mhm.
Yes.
Because
And Bonnie,
before this,
the
mhm,
other thing is that if you ever call somebody and they say, "I don't know who to invite," if you met them at a Mary Kay party and they filled out a profile on the back of back of the card, there usually are sometimes names they've written down. So that way, if you have their profile, you can open it up and say, "What about Beth? What about Susie? What
mhm.
about Carol? What about Nancy? What about?" And then she'll be like, "Oh yeah." So yes,
What can seem
yeah,
so obvious to us is not always obvious because they forget that they
no,
did that. So that is a great way. So now I kind of made Dawn work a little bit like, give me your list and we're
yes,
gonna, invite. So, but now you
yes,
want to bring her back to the excitement of why she's so Dawn, what do you want to get free? So Dawn
I
said
want
the
at least the
retinol,
retinol. I want the retinol.
the retinol
And then
set.
yes, I
Awesome.
want the retinol set, and if I could even like get a few lipsticks, that would be great. Mhm.
Perfect. So
Yes,
Dawn, the retinol set is 120.
yes,
And I like to say 120, not $120.
yes.
Just a side
Yep,
note there. So
yep.
that's 120. Each lipstick is about 18. So what if we set a goal for you to earn $150 in free products?
Sure, that's great.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I did take some books to work, so I will get some
Mhm.
orders probably early next week from them. Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Well, when your party totals $500 and you have two bookings, so maybe people that can't come and maybe they'd like to see what's new. If you have, when you have, when, not if, when you have $500, you would get $100 in free Mary Kay. So
So, Bonnie,
that would be
I was
amazing.
wondering if one of those bookings could be me booking a second party doing it virtually, because I do have, like I do have a sister and some friends outside of here. Could we do like a holiday preview via Zoom or would that be okay?
That would work perfect, Dawn.
Good. Good. So then at least that will be one of the bookings will be me in a different fashion.
Mhm. Okay. So now we get her excited about the hostess. We'll wait to hear who's coming, follow up with her guests. And then remember last week, if you missed last week's Consultant Confident, we talked about pre profiling. So I'm going to just suggest go watch week 13 and you'll know what to do with those guests and pre profiling them before the party. Um, and then when you get to the party, so now I've arrived at Dawn's house and I'm ready. I'm there to do the party. I'm going to get there a little bit early, get things set up. But the real reason you want to get there early is you want to get there before the guests. So you want to say, Dawn, I'm so excited. So tell me, did you get some outside orders or do you have some people that are thinking
Yes.
about getting some things?
Yes.
Great. Why don't we
Here are the
do that? We can write them up. So you can write those up. So then you can say, oh my gosh, Dawn, you already have $200 in sales. So this is going to be awesome. How about bookings? How about bookings? Do you have anybody that was interested, maybe that couldn't come, that expressed an interest? I know you're planning on having one.
well, Susie Q, who's coming tonight, she loves to have parties. So I'm thinking that she will be my other party. So
Okay, perfect. And that'll maximize your hostess credit because when you have two bookings, you get 20% of
yes.
whatever the sales are. Okay, so you are there to and you can say, then you a great time to say, Dawn, who's coming tonight who you think might enjoy hearing a little bit more about Mary Kay?
Bonnie, my friend Lauren, who's here tonight, she just had her second baby. And I think there's some thought maybe, about maybe going down to part-time. So there could be a need there. And she does like
Okay.
glamour. So you could possibly speak to her. Mhm.
Great, Lauren. I'll remember that. And Dawn, what about you? Have you ever thought about doing something like this?
No, and I'm going to chase you out of my driveway. Okay.
Right. Dawn, we'll talk later. Watch what I do tonight. And if it looks intriguing or like something you'd like to hear more about, I'd love to tell you more. Otherwise, you can be a talent scout for me, of course.
Yes.
Okay, so that is like outside orders. That's about, oh wow. You know what's so funny is I didn't even read this ahead of time, this bottom part, and I did it exactly. I must
Yes.
have learned this already.
Yeah. It's just pretty much
Okay,
just following
decide.
up. And you did
And
it all
then
right. I mean, it's all the basic things. Yep.
that's what I've learned. And then Dawn, at the end, I talk to everybody one-on-one individually because
Yes.
finances are a personal thing and skin is a personal thing. So I like to have a spot where I can talk to everybody individually. Where would be the best place for that?
You can just go in my kitchen because we'll be in the dining room. So you can just go in the kitchen, and then I'll
Oh,
have some light
perfect.
refreshments. I'll have some light refreshments out. Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
that sounds great. Ask, and you can serve those when I'm talking to people one-on-one,
Yes.
right?
Good. Yep.
Okay. And ask her about follow up with any products that she has or what she's loving if she's already gotten products. You know,
Yep.
she's going to be your best advocate at your party. I can say, I can say this eye cream is fabulous. But if Dawn
Yes.
says, oh my gosh, you guys, I cannot
Yes.
believe the difference in my eyes, her friends are going to be like, what's that eye cream Dawn's using? I want that. I need that. If I say the same thing, they're not going to believe it
Yep.
as much. So
Yes.
ask her what she's loving, make sure she's happy with her products, and answer any questions that she might have about that.
And Bonnie, there used to be a time too when, you know, if this is a party where you met me at a party and I had skincare, we would get there early to maybe check to make sure that their skincare was well. There are times where you might even go earlier and have the hostess have her glamour done, and she can be your
Mhm.
assistant that day with getting washcloths or squirting things in trays. So that way she can see just how easy this is. And if we keep it where we're just doing a very skincare based class and maybe just a 5-minute dash out the door, that way the hostess can really see that how easy this is. And she looks
Mhm.
great. And when her guests come in, they're going to be like, oh my goodness, your skin looks beautiful. And the hostess is going to be really excited about what she's been using and things like that. So,
Yeah, great. She will be your business partner in this. And then at the end, and we're not going to talk about closing now, but at the end, I'm just going to follow up with the hostess right here. You know,
yes,
say at the end, you're going to talk to her about what she has coming free and how much she sold.
yes,
That's a great time to say, Dawn, guess what your sales were?
yep,
You had $650 in sales or 420, whatever it
yes,
is. Say, that is so amazing. And you know what Dawn's going to remember about that is you sold that much to my friends? Like, oh my gosh. So that is you and her are
business
business
partner.
partners. Mhm.
Yep.
So that's
And
what
I think,
coaching is all about.
I think the coaching is then something that really, once you leave, we're going to mention this in this aspect of it, that send a written note to the hostess, send a written postcard, to all of the guests who come. People don't
Mhm.
get cards anymore, and just saying thank you. It was so nice to meet you. Um, I hope you're enjoying your Mary Kay products. I look forward to being, your consultant. And even if they don't purchase, send them a note and say it was so nice to meet you. Meet, just really love on them, because I just think that's what makes us stand apart. That
From
maybe they
others.
might not have
Mhm.
purchased that day, but they're going to remember you. Or if you call them and say, you know, would you like to be a hostess? So some of it is just continuing that
Mhm.
relationship with them.
And it's been said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
There.
So it's not about the bottom line, although dollar wise, although you're helping your hostess, but
Yes,
it really is about developing that relationship and having compassion towards the other people. So they don't care how
exactly.
much you know, they care how much you care.
There. Mhm. And Bonnie, it's just a matter of, I just think if you spend the time calling her within that 48 hours, getting her guest list, that's where you get hung up. If you wait and you don't, especially if your party's
Mhm.
next week, you don't have to do a lot of things, but you do want to make sure that she's got, you know, uh, two, three, four people. And let's say it's just her and one other person. It can be a great double facial, but even just
Mhm.
say, can you think of one more person to bring? So it it's
Mhm.
just worth coaching and having those conversations. So that way
Mhm.
you don't call her or text her the night before and find out you don't have an appointment. Mhm.
One thing I just wanted to add to that, if you call her for the guest list and she's like, seriously, Dawn, I'm like a stay-at-home mom. I don't have a job. I'm not I don't know a lot of people. Encourage her to ask, like maybe she has two friends. Encourage her to ask those friends to bring friends along. So your job
Exactly.
is to really be in her mind and her shoes and help her get the best results.
Well, and sometimes, Bonnie, some of my best appointments have been even just two people. You know,
Mhm.
let's be honest. I mean, if she only has one friend, you're not going to not go there. Um,
Right.
mhm, yeah. But no, coaching is just something that um, you get your hostess packs and you just start doing that, and put the dates in your calendar so you know when you're following up with people. Put a little post-it note and yes. So
Something that's been said too, when you book a party from a party, you can hand her your date book or your phone,
yep,
depending what you use, and say, "Could you put your address and your phone number in here?"
yes,
So she's writing it down, she's
yes,
confirming it.
yes.
So
And I would say try to book, out within like 2.5 weeks. Don't go a month out, because if you go a
it's
month
lost.
out, yes, it gets lost and people's lives are busy. So,
Mhm.
so all
Perfect.
right. Thank you.
All right. Well, everyone, it was great being here. Thanks, Dawn. You're so amazing, and I love.